Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, from another beautiful morning here in Sri Lanka. Walk and Talk is back once again after a short hiatus. I apologize for that. Today we're going to be talking about a bunch of things that you beautiful people on Patreon who support this Walk and Talk series have posted for me to talk about. Got a lot of interesting things to talk about today on Walk and Talk. But before we jump into all the things that we need to address in this Walk and Talk, I really quickly want to address this. This Friday, November 29th at 8 p.m. Sri Lankan time or 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are dropping the official Tuk Tuk Tournament documentary. I will talk about the documentary and what I experienced in this video today, but just so you guys know, the story, everything we worked so hard on is dropping this Friday. It's gonna be a two-part documentary, first part on my channel, second part on Steve's channel. We're gonna be premiering it live so you guys can watch and interact with us and a bunch of other people around the world while it happens. I'm so excited for you guys to see this. It's hands down the biggest project I've ever worked on. I'm also walking down some treacherous roads right now. So don't forget, this Friday, November 29th, 8 p.m. Sri Lankan time, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Convert that into whatever time you need. So please go set your reminders for the premiere. I will link down below so you can click there and just click set a reminder notification bell and it will remind you before the premiere begins. All right, enough rambling about the Tuk Tuk Tournament documentary. Let's start this Walk and Talk by rolling the intro. Officially in the Walk and Talk, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna answer some Patreon questions today because that's of course what this whole Walk and Talk concept is. You guys post some questions on Patreon and I will get around to answering them on this video. But before, it's a little bit of update time because it's been a while since we've done this. So first thing I need to address why Walk and Talk has been on such a big hiatus recently. Was busy to say the least. So the beginning of October, the end of October, October 25th, we head out on the road to create the Tuk Tuk Tournament documentary. It was about 10 to 15 days from start to finish. We started filming a few days before, and then we finished filming a few days after. There was a lot of work involved. This was probably the most intense project I've ever worked on. It was just driving around in a tuk-tuk in Sri Lanka for 10 days, going crazy and filming everything. And Steve and I did not have time to focus on anything but the documentary because we wanted to make this the best piece of work we've ever done. Our only focus was on creating video. We didn't have time to take pictures on Instagram. It was all just like 100% into the documentary, which was really cool. It was a different change of pace for content. It's not something I've ever done before. Right after the documentary was finished, we pretty much went into editing mode and started editing the documentary for another 10 to 15 days. So it was like almost a full month of just working on this one project and not being able to even communicate with you guys because we were trying to rush to finish it because we wanted to move on with other things in our life. It was just a really busy time. And then literally the day we finished editing, I head out on the road with my friend Brandon to start driving around in a tuk-tuk around Sri Lanka again, this time slower and, with more possibilities to see more things. Man, I thought the streets of New York were loud. I swear, in Sri Lanka, it's so loud to record a video. I need to reiterate, I'm in a little town called Habanara right now. It's a tiny little town. And it's so loud. All right, anyways, enough of me complaining about Sri Lanka. I love Sri Lanka. So that's why there's been a lack of Walk and Talks. If I stress to you, it's literally been impossible to make a Walk and Talk. I have not had the time. I wish I had, but I have not had the time. Now, let's get into the actual Walk and Talk bit of this video. Enough rambling. So the first question was from Rachel, who says, what is Sri Lankan food like? Any favorites? Also, is the sarong commonly worn by guys all across classes for daily wear or just some? So, what is Sri Lankan food like? It's great. In a lot of places, there's not a lot of options for like Western food or treacherous road again. Western food or different things. You'll make it to a town like this where you're not gonna find a McDonald's. You're not gonna find a hamburger if you want one, or French fries. But a lot of Sri Lankan food is on the basis of rice and curries, chicken, this thing called papadon, which is like a little cracker, which is really delicious. The food is amazing. I love Sri Lankan food. It's very fresh, very good. Next thing was the sarongs. Are they worn by men everywhere? Yes, 100%. I think I'm pissing off a dog right now. I might walk the other way. I hear a dog barking. There are a lot of dogs in Sri Lanka. Okay, we'll walk this way. Don't know where I'm walking around right now. Don't want to walk in someone's backyard or something. But yeah, sarongs are worn by a lot of men, both in Colombo, so in the capital city of the country, but also around the country in general. I've actually been taking up wearing mine a lot. I find that it's actually really comfortable in certain situations. Sometimes when you don't want to wear any underwear, it's just kind of nice to put on a sarong and kind of free ball around town. Sidetrack. Yes, it is a very, very common thing for people to wear. You actually see it everywhere, especially outside of Colombo. It's just almost all the men wear it. It's very, very cool. What do women wear? Women wear women's clothes. There's not really a specific outfit. There is a thing called a sari that a lot of women will wear, which is more of a traditional, I guess you could say it's kind of like the women's version of a sarong. But, you know, this is, in some parts of the country, pretty modernized, so people will just wear clothes, like whatever, like clothes that you would see people in the Western world wearing. But yeah, a lot of times, especially when you're going to like a bank or an office building or somewhere more official, they will be wearing the, you know, the traditional clothes. It smells amazing. It smells like coconut milk. One last question, what's the bathroom situation like in Sri Lanka? The bathroom situation in Sri Lanka, I've actually been presently and pleasantly surprised. I will say there are the occasional disgusting bathrooms, but I wouldn't say, oh, hello, little cow. This is Little Cow. He's a friend of mine. Hello, Little Cow. I love you so much. I love you so much. You're the cutest animal I've ever seen in my life. I'm sorry for every hamburger that I've ever eaten. They're just so delicious. Sorry, but they're so cute. Look at this little cow. That's the one thing about Sri Lanka that I love the most. For me, it's like a playground with the animals. There are animals everywhere, from snakes to bears to leopards to elephants. You're always around and near wildlife, which I love so much. And domestic cows and buffaloes, which is pretty cool. What was I talking about? I literally can't remember what I was talking about. Bathroom situation. That's what I was talking about. So yeah, the bathroom situation, I would say it's not any worse or any better than stuff that I would see in the United States. You will find the occasional squat toilet, which is interesting if you've never used a squat toilet as a Westerner. You have to squat down and do your business in a squat, and usually there's not going to be any toilet paper. A lot of times they use this little squirt gun to clean themselves off back there, and it's very normal when you're eating in Sri Lanka to eat with your right hand, and you don't eat with your left hand because your left hand is presumably used for doing what you do in the bathroom, taking care of business. So it's different, but the bathrooms have not been bad. They definitely have not been the worst I've seen around the world. They've actually been pretty good, and I will say Sri Lanka overall is a pretty clean country. Surprisingly very, very, very clean, very nice, amazing people. Hello.
Hello.
Komode.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and the locals, of course, are some of the friendliest people that I've ever met in my life. Just this man, just a few minutes ago, I was starting this video. He's just like, hey, good morning, sir. I've never met him before. It's just very friendly people. All right, so the next question, and probably the final question for this walk and talk, because we're probably getting pretty long at this point. We got it from Sarah. She wants to know if there's any boundaries or issues that I faced as an Israeli or an American while traveling. What can I say about this? I'm gonna tread lightly because, you know, we're gonna keep this topic nice and friendly. We don't want to get too deep into that stuff. Being an Israeli in any context is complicated. It's a complicated existence, and then especially having the dual nationality as an Israeli American, it gets even more complicated because people have their various opinions both on America and on Israel. I always state this, I'm very proud of being an Israeli, and I'm very proud of being an American at the same time. I'm proud of my two countries. I'm proud of having dual nationality in both places. I'm proud of these countries. I'm proud of the people in these countries. I love the people in these countries, and I've been blessed to have the time to explore, you know, both of these places. But that being said, when it comes to being the person holding that nationality, it is complicated. And people have issues with my nationality on a regular basis. My Israeli passport bans me from about 30 countries around the world. So yeah, you deal with it. I've had various scenarios where scary situations have occurred, but I don't want to dabble on those. And those are a story for another time, maybe, if YouTube would be so kind to let me talk about those things. Yeah, it's just it's a complicated existence, but no complaints. I'm proud and happy and feel absolutely great and blessed and grateful to be who I am and where I'm from. So there's no issues in that context. And yeah, I think that's all I'd want to hammer on about that point. it is, and I hope I'm not ignoring your question. It just is a complicated thing to talk about. Hello. Hello. Perfect example of somebody wearing a sarong. Hello.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be the end of this walk and talk. I'm sorry, I apologize. I hope I get my crap together with this walk and talk thing soon, and I'm able to actually make these on a regular basis. I'm hoping once a week. I'm really hoping that I can do this once a week now. Moving forward, it should be a lot easier for me now that the Tuk Tuk tournament documentary is going to officially be out. So, once again, reminding you guys, for all the hard work that I put in, for all the hard work that Steve put in, for all the hard work that the people behind Tuk Tuk Rental put in, everybody, so many people involved in this thing. Please, 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 go set a reminder right now. Down below in the description, you'll find a link to the YouTube thing. It'll be the first link in the description. I'll put it as the first thing. Click on that link, set a reminder, and watch the documentary once it goes live on Friday. Please, please, it would be so cool if you joined the premiere with us, because it would just be awesome to watch this live with a bunch of people. Anyways, if you do want to partake in a walk and talk in the future, all you have to do is join my Patreon. You can give as low as $1 and then delete the contribution next month if you want to. It's just a way for me to filter all the questions that I get in the comments. So please go on Patreon, leave me $1, leave me whatever you want, drop down a question, and I will talk about it in the next walk and talk. This is your series. You guys make it what you want. As well, if you want to buy some merchandise, you can on screen or in the description below. And I think that's all I want to say. I'm tired. I love you guys a long time. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, Clouds.